What's up YouTube, it's Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about whether you should do double closings or assignments on contracts in your wholesaling real estate business. So I actually got a DM from one of you all on my Instagram at this Matthew. Follow me there. Send me some DMs about some questions you all have. I usually respond to them. It takes me a little bit, but I got a question asking about a specific wholesale deal, whether this person should do a double close or an assignment on contract. And so today's video, I'm going to talk about what and how to do double closes and also how to do assignments on contracts. I'm also going to talk about when to do double closes and when to do assignments on contracts. So if you all find value from this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is what exactly is a double close and how to do it. So a double close is essentially you closing on a property. Let's say you put a property under contract and a few hours later, you're selling that same exact property to someone else in the same title company, usually that very same day. So how does it work? Actually, check this video right here. I posted a video a few weeks ago about double close contracts, right? And I explained how to do it and what you need to do. Essentially, you're just using one purchase and sales agreement and between you and the seller and one purchase and sales agreement between you and the buyer. And if you all are interested in those contracts, check the link down below. So that's kind of what double closes are and how it works. So when do you actually do double closes? So number one, you do a double close when you want to keep the seller at ease, right? I think that's probably the only reason, one of the most important reasons to do a double close. So let's say you're a wholesaler and you're wholesaling this property with a particular seller, but the seller is always on edge. They're very paranoid with different things and they just want you to specifically close the deal with them, even though you can easily assign it. And just to keep their nerves down and at bay, they want you to be at the closing table. So what you can do is just do a double close. To me, that's one of the best reasons to do a double close when, because you deal with different sellers and different personalities. Some people are a little bit more suspicious of what you're doing, or they completely don't understand exactly how this transaction is going to work, even if you explain the process of wholesaling to them. And if you're in jeopardy of actually losing that deal if you don't close with them, that's when I think double closings are very beneficial for you and your business. So to keep the seller at ease. Number two is maybe the spread is just too large. So let's say you're wholesaling an apartment complex and let's say your assignment fee is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. If it's a transaction like that, yeah, most likely the buyer or the hedge fund or the developer that's buying that apartment from you, they're going to understand you're going to make a significant amount of money with it. But for paperwork or other reasons, maybe you just do a double close instead, where you've been building rapport with the seller and you close with them, you buy the house from them, and then you quickly sell it to the other person. All right, so another reason why you may consider doing a double close is if you need a little bit more time finding a buyer. So this is not exactly a double close. This is just like buying the property and selling it a week later, but it still falls under the umbrella of double closing. So let's say it's a hot deal and the seller wants to act fast, but you don't quite at the moment have a buyer. And so what you do is you close on the property yourself and you probably wait a week or 2 weeks in order to sell that property, just so you can get the right buyer for this particular property. So those are some of the reasons why I think you should double close. Another thing I want to mention about double closing is that in the title company or working with your real estate attorney, when you actually double close, some title companies, some attorneys will actually let you use the funds from your end buyer to help you close your transaction between you and the seller, right? For example, you buy the property from the seller, that's a B transaction, and then you sell the property to the buyer. And so that's you as the wholesaler A to C. So they can use that funds. Let's say the buyer comes before the seller. They can use, or they just wire that money ahead of time in the morning. they can use that funds to actually help you close that transaction. But a lot of title companies don't do that. So if you find a few real estate attorneys or title companies that are comfortable with doing that, then yeah, go ahead. But usually what you have to do is get something like a transactional funding, lending. Something you would have to do is get something like transactional funding, which lets you buy a property. They lend you out money so you can quickly buy a property and then pay them back within a week or two. So that's basically how you would exactly do it at a title company. So now let's talk about assignments. Now, I truly believe that assignments are the way to go. No matter what, I even think even for large amounts, assignments are just a better streamlined way to go. So assignments are basically you buying a house from a seller, and with that contract, you're just assigning it to another buyer. So there's only one transaction happening with an assignment on contract, not to like a double close. The property is never put in your name as the wholesaler. Also with assignments, all you use an assignment on contract. I'll put a link somewhere down below where you all can take a look at the different contracts I use in my wholesaling business, which includes an assignment on contract. I also have a ton of videos about real estate contracts that you all can search on my channel. Now, when do you do assignments on contract? For me, it's like always, right? But to be more specific, number one is just quick and easy. So that's when you want to do an assignment on contract, when you just want a very quick and easy transaction. You don't want to have to wait months until you have to sell the property. You can either, go a little bit down in order just to move volume in your business and sell this property on assignment. Number two reason why you should do an assignment on contract is when you already have a robust cash buyers list, right? You have buyers ready for this property, and so you don't need a little bit extra time in order to close on a property, right? You have a buyer in place already for a property, and so all you have to do is assign the rights to that contract over to your cash buyer. And so that's why it's very important to build that cash buyers list. Of course, I have a ton of videos on how to find cash buyers, for example, using PropStream, link down below if you're interested in a 7 free day trial using my link down below. But I have tons of videos on how to use that and how to find the best, highest paying cash buyers. Another thing talking about assignments and buyers is that you have to know that your buyers are comfortable with your spreads on your assignment fees, right? Because to me, if a buyer is uncomfortable with you making $40,000, $50,000 on an assignment fee, maybe that buyer is just not the right fit for you and your company, right? You want to have buyers who are comfortable and okay with you making 6 figures off of a deal. As long as they're making their profit and how much they want to make, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you're making. So when you have those buyers in place that are comfortable with your assignment fees, no matter the amount, then that's a great way and that's a great time to do assignments on contracts. So the last reason I want to talk about briefly on why you should do assignments on contracts over double closes is for tax reasons. Now, I'm not a tax expert, but just learning the tax code in wholesaling real estate, I found out that when you decide to assign a property, usually that's counted as earned income, right? It's just an assignment fee. But if you would buy the property and then sell it to someone else, you can be at risk for capital gain taxes, right? Which is another tax added upon earned income taxes. And so assignments on contracts helps you really avoid that tax burden, that extra tax burden that you may have to pay if you decide to double close. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Remember, you all DM me on Instagram if you have any questions or video suggestions or anything about finance in general that you want me to answer. Please let me know in the comments down below. All right, talk to you all later. Peace.